go by days of the month, which most people do for birthdays, but today would be the day that we should all sing Happy Birthday to Life song. Alright, so you ready? Here we go. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday, dear Life song. Happy birthday to us. That was lousy. That's pretty uninspired, but that's alright. We hopefully inspired a little bit today. We are, for the month of October, we're taking some time to look at life song lessons, things that we've learned over the last year. It's been a very fast year. It's hard to believe we've actually been here a year. We've actually been around longer than that, because we started July was our first event. 4th of July party over at Life Song Park. That was back when we still called it Zia Park, like the rest of the world. Now we call it Life Song Park. And so that was back in July, and now here we are, though we opened our doors October 5th what is the year? 08. And here we are today at 09. So we've been talking, and we're going to be talking, we actually started last week, we're going to be talking about lessons that we've learned over the year. And this morning, as I talk, I want to let you know about something, and that's that I hurt my back this weekend, and so I may decide, we'll see how it goes. Right now, standing seems to be fairly comfortable. I may decide to sit at some point and teach, and it may be that if I sit to teach, I'll never be able to get up. So it may be that you'll be singing and doing other things around me. We'll just have to see how things go. But it's interesting, even just the fact that I hurt my back and thinking about it. And what I wanted to talk about this morning, hurting my back just really reminded me this whole year for the McGill family. And I know we're not unique in this respect. I know that this is by far, there's probably a lot of you who feel this way. But this whole year for the McGill family has been the year of the inadequate bodies. My wife had ACL surgery. She tore up her knee. She was bedridden for a while. I've got her back right now. We've had dog bites and illnesses and just various things throughout the year. And it's really just been a year to really remember how weak we are. It's not a great thing to remember, but that's where we are. And but that actually relates to what I wanted to talk about this morning, which is probably not an accident. So let's pray. I'm going to talk for a few minutes, then we're going to worship. We're going to have a great worship time this morning. I can just tell, so I hope you're ready. And so let's pray. I'm going to talk a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and do some worship. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you so much. We thank you for Life Song. We thank you for just the things you've done over the last year. We thank you for creating us and establishing us over this last year. We thank you for the new families and the new faces that have become part of us on a regular basis. We thank you for the visitors that are coming to check, and we thank you for the people that have been here from the beginning, Lord. And just for the community and the family, we thank you for teaching us to be more open and honest. We thank you for teaching us to be more faithful and humble. We thank you for teaching us how to serve and love. Pray that you just continue, Lord, to teach us these things, Lord, that we would excel still more, that we would grow and see you more. Most of all, Lord, we thank you for reminding us regularly that it's all about you. Amen. That you are the reason we're here. Lord Jesus is the reason we exist. And we're here to worship you and praise you. And as we speak this morning, as I speak, and as we worship, I pray you just really give us a new sense of what the Sabbath is, what it means, why it's relevant to us, and what changes we may need to make to really honor the Sabbath. These things we pray in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Today's title is Don't Just Do Something, Sit There. I want to talk about Sabbath. I want to talk about rest. I want to talk about what it means that the Lord calls us to that. It first comes up in Genesis 2. It says that the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array, and by the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day he rested from his work, and God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. That's a very weird passage, because we know that God doesn't need to rest, don't we? We know that God didn't actually get tired out creating the entire universe in 6 days, but he decided for some reason, as an example to us, to take that seventh day and say, this is a time of rest. And that's what I want to talk about, is the Sabbath. What is the Sabbath, and does it relate to us? That's Old Testament. No, it's still very much relevant to us. And it's one of the things it is it is a day of rest. Now, just to deal with the technical thing really quickly before we press on, the big question comes up is why do Christians not celebrate the Sabbath on the seventh day? In other words, shouldn't Saturday be the Sabbath? And the answer is yes. Saturday is the Sabbath. But the Lord rose from the dead, and it became the habit to celebrate the day that He rose from the dead on Sunday. It became the habit for Christians to celebrate what they called the Day of the Lord on a Sunday. And so that became the time, the moment. And I don't think the issue this morning as we talk is what day you pick. The issue is not that you must rest on a specific day. But I do think that the issue is that a Sabbath is very important. And as we go through this whole service this morning, I want us to see and think about why. So why Sunday is because that's how Christians have developed it, and that's fine. For some of you, Sunday, even as we come together and worship, may or may not be a day of rest for you. To be really honest, Sunday is a pretty big work day for me. Now, contrary to what a lot of the world thinks, it's not the only work day for me. But it is a pretty significant work day. It starts for me about 5 o'clock in the morning, and it ends about 9:30 or 10 at night. And that's usually stuff that's going on the whole day, work-related, if you will. Do I enjoy it? I love it. Do I get to hang out with the saints? Yeah, of course. It's not really a day of rest. It's not the day that I get to freak out and just sort of relax. And it may not be for some of you. And I don't think the day is the issue, but I have become increasingly convinced. And one of the lessons I have learned over this last year is how important and how necessary it is for every single one of us to learn what it means to make the intention to honor the Sabbath.
Amen.
God gives that as a commandment. After this happens, He tells them, honor the Sabbath. Keep it holy. The word holy means pretty much set apart. Make it different. Have a day which is not like every other day. And it ought to be a day of rest. I like rest. I love a good nap as much as the next guy. I like sleep when it works really well. One of the things that I have discovered over the last 3 years is that apparently when I think I'm sleeping, I'm not. I'm going in for a sleep study tomorrow. It's the third sleep study I've done. If you don't know what a sleep study is, it's where they tell you to lay in your most uncomfortable position. They put electrodes all over your body, stick something up your nose, tell you that they will be watching you, spotting on you all night, and then tell you to sleep as well as you can. That's a sleep study. Gary's nodding. He's had one too. This is my third sleep study. I don't do it for fun. I have what's called apnea, and there's this thing, apnea, a lot of you have heard of. Sometimes apnea, sleep apnea, is when you have an obstruction, and as you start to go to sleep, the obstructions in your throat relax, and it cuts off a little bit of your air, just enough that it kind of wakes you up, just a little bit. You don't even know you wake up. I'm not aware of waking up, but your REM sleep is not complete. There's another kind of apnea, which actually has nothing to do with the obstruction, but it's actually that there's a part of your brain that, now this sounds really weird, but it forgets to send the signal to breathe while you're sleeping. Now it's not fatal, it doesn't forget forever, it only forgets for an instant, but that instant is enough to wake you up out of your REM sleep. And then there's a third kind of apnea, which is called complex apnea. And complex apnea is where you have both of the first two kinds. Now, you know me. I don't like to keep anything simple. So, of course, I have complex apnea. So, it's been a struggle, and it's been very difficult for them to figure out how to help me with this. There's some hope on the horizon. There were some things that happened last week that were actually very encouraging. They actually put a mask on my face that didn't make me feel like I was going to die, which is always a good sign. So that's good. So I have another study tomorrow, but it's made me really appreciate sleep. You know that? I just have begun to realize, you know, and it seems to be getting worse, and over the last year it's such a state that just lack of sleep, I frequently feel like I have flu symptoms. I just feel achy and tired and fatigued. And going to bed doesn't help because I don't really sleep.